Tanya. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by, and I would love it if you consider subscribing. What I have for you today, I'm so excited. Okay, we're going to do a Christmas DIY for 2022. We are going to make some high-end Christmas decor, okay? So let me get everything flipped down and we'll get started with this Christmas decor for 2022 that you do not want to miss. Okay, I want to make a church. Okay, so what you'll need is you'll need some kind of wood. We had this left over when we did our pantry organization, okay? And you can be whatever size you want it to be. I just drew a little sketch, told Melvin what I wanted. He cut it out. And then I wanted sides to go on the church, okay? So that's what we have, right like that. I think this is the best way to film this so you can really see what I'm doing, all right? So this is going to be the church. And then I had him make me a base, and he routered this out, all right? And then I'm going to have some braces for the back, and I can sand that off later to help hold this together, okay? So the first thing I want to do is paint this. Now I'm trying a new paint I've never tried before. It's Debi's DIY paint, and I have it in faded burlap and white Swan. Now this is pricey. It was like $23 for this paint for 16 fluid ounces, but it has no VOCs. It's chalk clay paint, okay? And it's not bad for you. So that's why I'm using that, all right? So first of all, I'm going to paint our church, and I'm going to paint it on the front and the back because I want it to be relatively nice looking on the back. So you just shake this up. Now I could have painted this with the white Swan all over, which would have been really cute, but I wanted to give it a little bit of color. So here this is. I think that's a really pretty color, all right? So I'm going to use, I think this brush to apply this, and I'm gonna get this out of here if I can. And I think this will be basically maybe a one coater is what I'm hoping. That I can get this one and done. I may have to put 2 coats. We'll see. I'm not going to worry about it if I do. So I know you know what I'm doing. I'm going to paint the front and back of all these boards and dry them. And then I'll be back and you're not going to believe what we're going to do. Okay, I have painted my boards. I love this color. I love this paint. Just wish it wasn't so expensive, but you don't have to use this kind of paint. You can use any that you want, okay? Other thing I haven't done is I haven't painted the back of these. It dries really nicely, and I dried it with a hair dryer, but I will tell you, which I knew, you have to seal this type of paint because if any water or a baby wipe gets on it, it pulls it right off. So now what I'm going to do, you can use any kind of sealer that you want. I'm going to use their Big Top, okay? And it's solvent-free, no VOC, it's water-based. And so I'm going to try this. Okay, so these are the ones that I just did. I'm going to go ahead and use this Big Top. You can use any kind of sealer. Now I will tell you, it is very thin and watery. Okay, and I'm gonna just use this brush. All right, and we're just gonna apply this and see what happens. I don't know how long it's gonna take it to dry. I'm hoping not long. I'll use my hair dryer or a heat gun. I have a heat gun as well. But it looks like it dries pretty quickly. If I had a wider brush, it would do much better. But I don't I don't want to use my chip brush because I think I'm going to use it in a little bit later. What I like is this doesn't have an odor. Not sponsored by them. They don't know I exist. Just, I was looking for something that might help with my allergies and all my problems. And I saw this and I was like, oh, I think I might like that. So, all right, I know you don't want to watch me seal this. So, and like I said, if you don't use this paint, then you're already a step ahead because you won't have to seal your acrylic paint or whatever you want to do, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this and then I'll be back with some really cute stuff. Okay, here it is. I love the kind of sheen that put on it. I just took a hair dryer. I have a heat gun, but I didn't use it. But I love that little, it's kind of like a satin finish. I think it's really pretty, okay? So I sealed those. Okay, I'm going to be using some IOD molds and I'll show you the ones that I used. I used this year's Christmas release, the Baubles mold. I just love it. Now, you don't have to use IOD molds. If you don't have them, you can use anything or you can paint it. And then I used frames. I think this is frames 1 or just the original frames mold, okay? So I made this and then I made 2 windows, a spiral for this, like a steeple, and another window, all right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm thinking that I want to use my faded burlap and paint these because I want to go over top of them then with some metallic wax. And I also made I printed out little stained glass windows. So we're going to turn these into stained glass windows, okay? Went on Pixabay and just looked up stained glass windows. I'll link Pixabay in the description box. And then just measured it, went in Canva, and got my size. Now this is on rice paper because for it to cover this, I want it to be able to bend, all right? So that's how that is. But what I'm thinking, like I said, I want to do is go in here with the faded burlap, I think. Or do I want to paint these white? No, I think I want to do white. I think I'm going to paint these with white Swan. And then when I put the wax, I think it'll really show up good. Plus, I want my decoupage to come out really well. So we're just going to go ahead. Now, I made these molds several days ago so I could really get in here and paint these. And I mean, you can paint them wet, but it's much better if they're nice and dry. Things tend to, you don't want to, you know, ruin your image. Okay. Now there, that one is all white. I think that's really going to pop, okay? And now we'll do this one. And if you don't have a silicone mat, oh my gosh, you need to get one because everything cleans up so nicely off of it, you don't have to worry about anything. But you can use any paint, any colors that you want. I started to use some blues because many of you know in my living room, it's like a blue theme, a very cold blue theme. But I decided no, because I may put this in there on my hearth, or I don't know where I'm going to put it just yet. I haven't decided. Okay, so I'm just going to scrub this really well. Look at all that beautiful dimension. And then we're going to do this one. There's so many possibilities. You can actually take these molds and make Christmas ornaments because they're made to, you can put them back to back. So I'll link, I'll put a link in to find an IOD stockist near you. these may, I hope they're not sold out. I don't know. All right, so that is that. Now I really need to seal these because I don't know what would happen if I put that Mod Podge on there. So I think I will. I think I'll go ahead and seal these with the big top. Okay, I've gone ahead and put the big top over this. I love it. Gives it such a little sheen. Now this one's not completely dry, and I almost forgot to put the white Swan over it. And this one's still a little damp, okay? So we're gonna start with these. So what I want to do, I have some Mod Podge. It's just from the Dollar Tree. It's the luster, the gloss. Okay, so what I want to do, like I said, this is just printed on copy paper. All right, and I want these windows to go facing each other. All right, so I'm gonna get a little brush with some Mod Podge. I think this is going to be beyond adorable. Now, if you wanted, you could just paint this and you don't have to Mod Podge a thing. You can just paint your little windows and whatever you want to do. Okay, I'm gonna get some more. Oh gosh, that was like way too much. Take my finger. Normally I use saran wrap, which I'm going to get some. Just kind of push that down in there. I'm going to cover this really good because I don't want it coming off. Then we're going to go over it with something to make it glitter. But look, we have a stained glass window. These are going to be really cute. Okay, here's my other one. And they have tons of images to pick from on Pixabay. I mean, tons. Or you could just, like I said, you could take your... you could just draw it with paint and it would be beautiful. Now this is kind of, my red is kind of coming off, but that's not gonna matter because you're not gonna see it off that picture. Look at that, how beautiful. Oh my gosh. And we're not finished. All right, now I want to put this one in the center of here. Okay, we're just gonna stick this right in here, like that. Press it in. And here is this window. Oh, I love this. I was hoping that I could manage to get us a stained glass window, and I did. Okay, now with this one, like I said, this is on rice paper because I knew this was going to have to mold a little bit, and I wasn't quite sure what would happen. So that's why I put this on the rice paper. Oh, I love it. Now, like I said, my paint is coming off a little bit, but it's not gonna hurt anything because it's gonna be fine. Fine, 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 fine. And we're gonna go over this with something to make it look really frosty and like a stained glass window would look, okay? All right, love it. Okay, now I'm just gonna dry these to make sure they're really good and dry. Okay, and look how that just conformed to that. I love that, okay? Now, what I want to do is, I don't know, oh, I don't wanna mess this up. I know I'm gonna take my aged brass and put on there. I had thought about putting maybe some metallic chocolate brown and then putting this over. I might do that. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna take this and I think I'm gonna put out a little bit of this metallic chocolate brown. I'm sorry for the shade that's casting on here. There's not much I can do about that. All right, we're gonna see. We're gonna come down through here. Because if you look at the old church doors, they have that brown color. They're real wood. This would make an excellent Christmas gift if you know somebody. And the more you add to it, and I am going to go and hit it with that gold, but I'm going to try to make it look, and you could do brown if you didn't want, you could just do brown. And you don't have to use this metallic. I just really like the metallic, so I'm going to paint it on the ends. But you can do whatever you want and match your decor, because you are going to be able to see this from the side. All right, here's this. Okay, now we're going to go to this. And that top is still a little damp. The where I Mod Podged. So I want to be careful. But I do want to go down in these sides, because I think that's what's going to make it draw your eye inward and make it look more realistic. Okay, I like that. You see, I'm just kind of brushing lightly, almost kind of like a dry brush. And then all those beautiful elements in that mold, it's picking it up. And it's gorgeous. Okay. Now I'm going to take this, do the same thing Just come down and let all that beautiful detail. You could also use a chip brush for this. It would work wonderful. Okay. All right, liking that. All right, now like I said, you could use any colors that you wanted, totally. It's up to you, okay? Now, I need to put something on this one though, around the edges. So I'm just gonna go around and keep in mind some of this is still not really good and dry, okay? Okay, now I'm just going to put this together. You could use a nailer if you wanted. You could use wood glue would be great. I'm just going to use hot glue for time purposes. And then if I want to tear it down to store it, I can. I just think this is going to be really, really cute. This, I think that's going to be so pretty. Okay, now you could probably use clamps. That would be a good idea, but I don't have mine out. And if I use wood glue, I would use the Titebond premium glue. I use these for, that's what I'm going to use to put the molds on here in a minute. So that's what I would do, but we are far from through because I want to add some elements to those stained glass windows to really make them kind of pop, okay? And you could even add, if you wanted, a little, take some clay and ball it up and put a door on, like a knob. I think that would be really cute. Now, I'm just gonna go down through here with some hot glue. And I'm gonna put this right up where I want it. Okay, and just hold it. I use the Gorilla wood glue, and I really like it. All right, okay, so we have that glued together. So while we're working on this, I think that would be a good way for you to see. Okay, now I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna lay these out where I want them. And I don't mind these little areas like that. I think it makes it look old. If it bothers you, you definitely could get yours much more better than what I have mine, okay? Just gonna kind of lay this out. I know you can't see this at the top. Because it's just so big, okay? All right, so we're going to, let's see, I could put it here. I could put them up some. How do I like them? Do I like them like that? I could move that closer. I could drop it down. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do before I do anything else, I'm gonna try this Finnabar metallic wax in aged brass, okay? I hope I like this. It's really not gonna add much more than the brown did, just a little bit more. And you could make this out of resin if you wanted. But I made mine, like I said, out of air dry clay. Our neighbor is home and I'm waiting for Maggie to go crazy. Yeah, I think that adds. I do like that, okay? I'm gonna do the same thing here. It's not that much different than what we had, but I think it does add Maybe it's because it's a little heavier, or maybe because it's leaning more towards the gold and not so much the metallic chocolate brown. But look how that just makes that detail pop. Okay, and we're gonna add some here. Just gonna take it. Kind of got it pretty heavy there, but I think it needed a little bit of extra to it. Why not be extra? It's Christmas. Like that, okay? Now we're not through with this stuff at all. And I could have made another stained glass like window and put down there, and I could have made this shorter if I wanted. Okay, so I'm gonna take my Titebond Quick and Thick. Just gonna squirt this out. You can put it on with whatever, a craft stick. I usually, just make sure you get it all the edges. I usually just use my fingers. Okay, you could use hot glue if you wanted to put this down with hot glue, then just press it. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. This stuff grabs pretty quickly. I think I want it here. After looking at it, I believe that's where I want it. And you could add more windows. I've done other videos using IOD molds, and I'll link them in the description box in case you're interested. Now this little thing kind of, when it dried kind of bowed. So I think I'm going to use hot glue for this. Okay, they have so many really cute little baubles that you could use for this. It wouldn't have to be the one that I used. I was looking and I picked this up at Michael's. It's FolkArt Glitterific. It's clear hologram glue. Okay, I'm gonna put this in here. All right, I'm gonna go over the stained glass window because I want it to look like it's glass. And that gives it some reflective properties without covering up the image. I started to paint my church white. That I think would have been really pretty. You can definitely do whatever color you want. Now when you look at these, they look like real stained glass windows. Okay, I'm gonna put it on this. Just every little bit you do to this just makes it come alive a little more. Look at that. I think I'm gonna add some more to this one. Just looks like a church window. Oh, love it. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch filming angles because we're going to add some snow on top. Okay, here this is so far I think I needed to add more stained glass windows. I think it's so tall that I needed more. So you can tweak yours, but I love it. I think one of those arch stained glass windows would be perfect, but look at that. Does that not really look like a stained glass window? Okay, now this is just going to sit right in there, but what I need to do to give it support is I'm gonna glue, Melvin cut me some of these, okay? And I'm just going to glue them to the back. Now, with this support, it'll be much better. And I just noticed when I glued this one is shorter than that one. That's why it's not sitting really straight. Ugh, okay. Now, let's put some snow on here but you won't do that on yours. All right, let's put some snow on top of this because you have to have snow when it's Christmas. You just have to. So I'm gonna go in with this little thing from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just gonna start. Okay, I didn't do it wrong. I just needed to push. All right. This front, the wood swelled a little bit. Snow. Now you could use that snow stuff that you can buy, but if I do that, Maggie will eat it because it's gonna fall off and I don't want that. Kind of wish I'd made it shorter. If you do this, I would take and let this dry up against this because this isn't flush because it dried not on this board, okay? Now, I'm going to take some Mod Podge. And I could take that same glitter if I wanted, but I think I'm just going to put this on the snow. And just shake it. Okay, here this is. Now, don't mind that in there. That's our new vanity and top and faucet. So that has to sit there till this weekend. But this, I love how it looks. Those windows really do have a reflective property. They look like stained glass windows. Now I would do some things different, okay? I had some knob stamps from IOD and I thought I could put a miniature stained glass window there. No, it didn't work, so I painted over it. This is a clock stamp, but I don't really, it's okay. I don't know, I would tweak some things about this, but it gives you a jumping off spot that you can go to, and I think it's really, really cute, and it's so dimensional. But like I said, if this was shorter, maybe only that tall, you really could fix that, I think, very pretty. So let me go get Maggie and let her say hi to you. Well, here is the baby, and there goes the baby. She was chilled out in there in her blankets, you would not believe. But I think this is a really cute little DIY, scaled down. I think I really just got ahead of myself. But I think it's really pretty, and you definitely could take it as a jumping off spot. It's not that expensive, especially if you would take paint, make it look very primitive and just paint your doors and your windows. You wouldn't have to add stained glass, or you could even do that. So I will see you. Now, I'm taking off Tuesday. Goodness. I'm taking off Tuesday because Melvin is taking off. He's off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I will upload on Wednesday, but we're going to be working in that bathroom, in the master bathroom, and we have to gut the sink area. So I'm not going to be able to put up a video on Tuesday, but I will see you on Wednesday for a little, very small, little Christmas haul. Say hello. Say I love you, but say I'm feeling very shy right now. Why are you shaking, baby? So until next time, bye guys.